and welcome back to another episode of HBO Max. I'm your host, McKenna. Hi. Joining me as always, my co-host Brandon. Hello, Brandon. How are you today?
Hello, McKenna.
Hi.
It's going pretty good. I'm drinking a lot of iced coffee today.
That's good. Woo woo. Ooh, coffee. I tried coffee last week.
For the first time?
For the first time, yeah. I didn't mean to.
Okay. Go into detail.
Okay, so last week I was at work and I was editing in the morning. It was like right when I got in, and two other people in the content team came in. They were like, "You want some coffee?" And I was like, "Okay." So then I went upstairs and we got coffee, and I made sure other people went first for the coffee machine, and I just copied exactly what they got. But I forgot about putting like sugar and creamer in and like other stuff to not make it just straight up black coffee.
Okay. Well, so now were they making like regular coffee, like coffee pot? Because I know like a lot of Europe, they do Americanos instead of like what we do for like coffee, right?
I don't really know what button I pressed. I just chose the general region where the other guy pressed, and it made.
Wait, so okay, it's like a like it wasn't like a coffee pot, it was a coffee machine.
Yes, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, then yeah, you're getting like coffee, I think.
Yeah, it was forgot about the sugar, forgot about the creamer.
Very bitter.
Coffee. Very, very bitter. And then I promptly proceeded to run into the door and spill half of it on myself, all before 10 a.m. It was warm. And it was bitter. I didn't have a very good day that day.
Oh, that's tough.
It was a long day. But that's what I tried coffee for the first time.
Okay. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. So I've learned a lot of stuff is an acquired taste.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Yes. A lot of being an adult is just like learning that most things taste bad at first, but you got to get through it.
Yes. I'm glad to hear that adulthood is an acquired taste. So we watched we watched the Batman.
Yeah, we did.
We
decided to double down on Batman movies.
Yeah.
Not sticking into the same canon, like the same versions of Batman, but we were just like, oh, what if we did another Batman? The Batman.
The Batman. The article is very important. You need that article. It was released March 4th, 2022. We got another movie releasing this year. It had a budget of $185 to $200 million, box office, just about $771 million. It so far is the fourth highest grossing film of 2022. It was nominated for a few MTV Movie and TV Awards. In particular, it was nominated for Best Movie, Best Performance, Best Kiss, and Colin Farrell was nominated for Best Villain, which I found to be interesting that he was the one nominated for Best Villain.
That is strange. They've already done the MTV Movie
Apparently,
Awards?
like I didn't think that I would get any like nomination things to be able to talk about, but then I saw the Best Villain bit stuck out to me, and then I looked back, it was MTV Movie Award. It was like in June or something. But I didn't realize.
Okay. So they must do like from like June to June, I guess.
It must be, yeah.
Because like the Oscars, they like they take like a little bit of like January for their nominations. Mm. I don't know. It's weird. I just do calendar date to calendar date. I don't know why we have to.
I agree. Needs to be simple, please. This movie launched a Batman shared universe sort of dealio. So this is the first of a trilogy, and then there will be 2 spin-off television series. Ben Affleck was supposed to be Batman. He was cast in 2013. And he was also due to produce, co-write, and star in the movie. And I think direct as well.
Yeah, he was supposed to direct as well.
And then he dropped out of the project. So then Matt Reeves picked it up. We got Cedric Diggory as Batman, and it was great. And okay, so fun facts. So Colin Farrell, our boy, Percival Graves, as we previously knew him as.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
this movie's got quite a few people that we've done movies of before.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a HBO Max reunion. So Colin Farrell, who plays Penguin, which I didn't even know was Colin Farrell at first. I didn't notice until I saw like
the
that
makeup is crazy.
Yes, and that is so when he first put up the makeup and prosthetics, he went to Starbucks to like test it out to see if he would get right. No one recognized him.
Yeah.
It was it's great. It's wild. Yeah. No idea it was Colin Farrell. Robert Pattinson stole socks from the movie.
Stole a lot of socks.
So many that Warner Brothers had to tell him off and be like, bro, we get taking a few pair, but it's been a year.
So there's a bunch of these weird ass stories of Robert Pattinson from this movie, and it's gotten to the point where they're like, people think he's lying about a lot of these stories, because like some of the things he's like the socks thing and like a bunch of others where they're just like, there's just no way this is true. Like you're just like because he's been doing this for so long and like since he was young, and so that he's just like totally over it and is just making shit up at these press junkets.
That'd be amazing. Oh my god. I just like, yeah, the idea of him like preparing all of these. Okay, we're gonna tell this story at this press junket. Oh, that's great. I love Robert Pattinson. So to touch back on HBO Max with Tenet, so when he did the screen test,
man, we've done a lot of Robert Pattinson.
I know. This is a Robert Pattinson podcast now. When he was doing this screen test and he was auditioning, he was rehearsing for Tenet in May of 2019. And then he told Christopher Nolan that he got the role right before principal photography began. And Christopher Nolan already knew, though, both times that, like, that he got the role and that he was going to audition and everything. Because Christopher Nolan knows everything.
It's funny that he was working with the last Batman director while getting the role of Batman on another movie. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was all connected. The scene when Riddler calls Batman on Coulson's phone, that took 200 takes. And Paul Dano convinced Matt Reeves to film his portion on a cell phone, which I thought was cool. He's recording.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then finally, when Robert Pattinson was doing like screen tests and everything, he took a selfie in the Batsuit just in case he didn't get the role, and I thought that was adorable.
I believe he did the screen test, and I want to say the Batman Forever suit, which was Val Kilmer's Batman suit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is a pretty funny looking Batman suit.
Yeah, I think it was something like, he wore Val Kilmer's, but like the mask thingy didn't fit him, so he wore George Clooney's. So it was just like George Clooney, the head, and then the rest was Val Kilmer's suit.
I like that they have all these bat suits just laying around to piece together.
It's
like you go in, you're like, yeah, you look like a Val Kilmer kind of size. Here, try this one on.
Yeah, because I think it was Christian Bale, I want to say, also screen tested in the Val Kilmer suit. Someone did. It was either Christian Bale or Ben Affleck. And it was, so everyone's just wearing everyone's Batman's. Or everyone's wearing Val Kilmer's Batman suit.
There's no way that Ben Affleck could have fit in that Val Kilmer suit.
I don't know what Ben Affleck looks like, so I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. But those are my facts and figures for the Batman. I'm really curious to see if it will stay the fourth highest grossing film of 2022. I don't know what else is coming out this year.
I think we've kind of gotten through all of the big stuff. I can't.
So I thought.
I can't really think of anything else, but there's got to be a couple things coming out this year, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I saw. I don't know how much Thor's going to make because that wasn't above it on the list yet.
Thor had a really big opening, but
Mhm.
it looks like it might be falling off a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I
Is
thought.
Avatar this year?
Oh shit, that might be the end of this year. I think
Avatar. I mean, Jimmy Cameron.
he's
so,
good
yeah,
at making those big movies.
he makes movies that make a lot of money. So yeah.
Now I'm curious now. Do you think this Avatar will be 2012 Avatar?
No,
because
2012 is the highest grossing movie of all time.
Right? Yeah.
I'm betting that it does well. Like, I bet it's like a really successful movie. Like, probably it could be like top 5 of the year, but like, there's no way it's the highest grossing movie of all time.
How did Avatar get to number 1? Like, what? I've never seen Avatar. I know that might be shocking, but
because let's see, Avatar came out around like 2009 or whatever. See, like, you were like 9 years old. You didn't go see it?
No.
So Avatar like got to be number 1 because it was such a technical marvel. Like, there wasn't too much hype going into it. Right. It was like a big deal because like James Cameron took like 10 years to make that movie. And it was talked about for a really long time. There's going to be this massive failure and stuff. It took so long to make. And when it came out, I don't remember it being a very big deal. Like, I remember people talking about it a little bit. Like, it was an interesting idea because it was like just totally CG. It was like the best looking CG we'd ever seen. And then like it's probably still the best 3D movie of all time.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the only movie I can remember where the 3D looked good. And the movie still looks great. It was completely mind-blowing for the time what they were able to do with that movie. So people saw it over and over and over again. It was in theaters forever. I didn't see it until like the end of its theatrical run, and I saw it like twice. Because I remember like I thought like, oh, it doesn't look like it's that good of a movie. I've heard like that like the story's not very good and stuff. I'm like, whatever, it's a bunch of CG. Then my parents went and watched it. My brother went and watched it. They're like, no, you gotta go see it. Like, it's just crazy how good this movie is. And so I went and saw it, and then I went and saw it again in 3D. That's pretty much what everybody did. Was everybody saw it and saw it in 3D, and then probably went and saw it again. It was in theaters forever.
Wow. Interesting. The only touchstone I have to Avatar. Okay. In 3rd grade, I was in 3rd grade when it came out. We read Charlotte's Web. Okay, stick with me here. And we had to either choose Charlotte or Wilbur, the pig, and we had to do a project where we put them into something else. So my project was I put Wilbur into SpongeBob because SpongeBob was my thing back in the day. My friend she put them into Avatar, and that's the only thing that I remember about Avatar for the time because everything was blue. It was great. I think she won 1st place, but that's all I've got in terms of I don't know what the storyline is. I don't know who's in it. I don't know. I know that blue is a big theme.
It's an interesting movie. It holds up from like the technical perspective. The story's pretty weak. Like, it's a pretty kind of boring movie, like all things considered. I'm not sure if it would like blow your mind the way it did for people in like 2009. Right. But like one of the things is like in order for a movie to like hit those super high like top 5 all time highest grossing movies, it has to be in theaters for so long. And like it's getting to the point where that's really not going to be possible for any like non-Disney movie because Disney flexes their muscles so much with theaters of like they require it to take up so many screens, and they require like one of the reasons Avengers Endgame beat Avatar briefly was that Marvel like forced a bunch of theaters to re-release it just so that they could keep making money. Shit. And they'll do it. They'll basically like do it or you don't get to show the next Marvel movie. So like you have to do it.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
But then James Cameron re-released Avatar and like it did pretty good in the States, the re-release, but like it did like super well overseas. And I think Avatar's number 1 again.
Yeah, I think it it got bumped back up. Yeah, it's so that's our Avatar portion of the podcast.
Yeah, which isn't on HBO Max, but I guess Avatar 2 could beat this movie box office wise.
Interesting. Yeah. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I'm also excited to see if there are any other movies that
because one thing about this movie is a lot of parents didn't take their kids to see this movie. It's a very hard PG-13.
Is it PG-13? I didn't know if
PG-13.
it was 13.
I remember watching it and thinking like, is this rated R?
Yeah, that's why I didn't look it up. I was like, I think this might be rated R, but I don't remember.
Because like the one thing that did it for me is like really early on in the movie, the commissioner comes in and says "fuck," and I was like, "Oh wait, what is this?"
Hold on.
I was like, "I thought this was PG-13. Is this rated R? Like what the hell?" And like it's a pretty like this is not a movie for kids. So
no.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised this movie's grossed as much as it did, considering how dark of a movie this is. Like normally, like these types of movies don't end up making that much. Like they do well, but like top 5 of the year, that's pretty nuts for like, yeah, you can't take your kids to see this movie. And that's normally where the money is, right?
So, okay. Speaking of that, because I remember reading this and I didn't, okay. So apparently Colin Farrell pitched the idea of cigars in some of his scenes, but the studio turned down this idea, citing that children would potentially be watching the movie, so that he could smoke cigars, but they did everything else.
Yeah, that's like people do drugs in this movie. A guy gets his face eaten by rats.
Yeah, there's lots of murder.
Yeah, there's reason enough to make the argument that this probably should have been rated R, and like they probably like the MPAA, I think is the ratings agency. They probably gave this a pass because it's Batman, right? And the studios, they sort of work together on this kind of thing. But yeah, like yeah, of all the things in this movie to get upset about smoking cigars, Jesus.
You bring up the drugs. Is like doing eye drop drugs, is that a thing? Like I'm not familiar with drugs. But like is that
I have heard of people doing LSD that way. I don't think that is a common way to do any kind of I'm sure that there are like non-recreational drugs that you might have to take through eye drops, right? But I've never it's a cool like visual thing to see. I guess it's clever. And then like like the drops are one of the things I really like about this movie. It's just something that's in the background that they talk about, and there's like the drug has like a mascot.
I know, yeah. Yeah, it was
I like that.
It was interesting. I like that like the in the club scene or whatever, one of the club scenes where she just like had it on like her tray, just serving it as if it were like food or drinks or whatever. It's like, drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs. So I want to talk about the Riddler. Because I really
before we get into your notes, your questions, your gripes, all that stuff. Yes. How did you like the movie?
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. But I really liked it. I was a little trepidatious that it would drag on because it was almost 3 hours, but I felt like for the most part, I was like I was paying attention and like I wasn't really drifting all that, or I like wasn't checking the time all that much or anything. Some bits though, I was a bit, they could cut that down.
It is a very long movie. Yeah,
it is a very long movie.
Full runtime is 2 hours 56 minutes.
Yeah, which I think
pretty
is like
long.
The second longest superhero movie or comic movie.
Yeah, I think
next
it's
to Endgame.
Just short of Endgame.
Yeah. which is interesting. But no, I really enjoyed it. If I were to, I still think I like Dark Knight Rises or The Dark Knight. I don't know. I really like both of
they're
them.
very different movies.
Yeah, yeah. No, they're definitely different movies. I don't know. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I liked it. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I love this movie.
Yeah,
I really like it. Yeah. I probably won't go too deep in a lot of the stuff about the movie the way I kind of do with some other ones, because you can go on twitch.tv/Jose Ruckus. You can find the Bat Boys podcast, where me and the Bat Boys, Craig Fox, Josh, and Aaron, we go through the whole. We do like a 2.5 hour podcast about this movie. I really like it. This movie is more my vibe than The Dark Knight, which I love The Dark Knight, but for me, this is maybe my favorite superhero movie or comic book movie. It feels a lot more like a comic book and more like a Batman movie for me than Dark Knight does. Like, I love the opening. Not like the opening scene, because the opening scene is the Riddler killing the mayor. But when it cuts, it does that introduction to Gotham with Batman narrating and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's like the best thing I've ever seen in a comic. I love it because it feels like a comic book. Like, I think Josh has said it a couple times, where like you can see like the text bubbles on the screen while he's talking all that stuff. And yeah, I love the mood of the movie. I also I love long movies. Like, I love a long ass movie. I watched this movie last night. I felt like I watched this movie all night. It was so long. And it didn't bother me at all. Like, I love having, like, because I mean, we've talked about it a bunch. My favorite movie is Blade Runner. I like a long, boring movie that is mostly just vibes. And that's what this movie is. It's a lot of vibes.
It is a lot of vibes. So okay, let me tell you my experience watching this movie, because I realized I did my math wrong. So yesterday we talked about what time we were going to be recording today. And in my head, for some reason, I thought we would be recording at 6 p.m. my time. I was like, shit, I have to watch this movie right now, or else I will not have time tomorrow to do it, because I was going to do stuff. So it was like at 9:45 here. I stayed up until about 1 watching this movie. It's like I was all ready to go. It was like 6 p.m. rolls around. I got my notes ready. It's like 6:10. I'm like, Brendan hasn't sent me the link yet for the book. And then I Googled, what time is it in California? I was 2 hours behind. Yeah, no, so I wasn't expecting to watch the movie when I did, but I really I still enjoyed it a lot. It was great. I got all cozy. I had some snacks. It was a good time. It was a great time. Batman.
Yeah, there's a bunch of awesome shit in this movie.
Oh my god, yeah. I had to rewind a couple of times.
The car chase is awesome. Like, so the car itself. This Batmobile is so much cooler than the tank in The Dark Knight. Like, because it's just a tank, like, whatever. Right. Like, I at the time, super cool. They did the tumbler. It's because, like, there with the Christopher Nolan movies, like, at the time they were talked about a lot of, like, realistic, like, how can you make, like, the Batman real? And they're like, okay, we're gonna put him in a tank, and he's gonna drive around in a tank, and he's gonna do all this. But like, this movie is like, no, this is like way more like a real Batman. Like, you can't drive around a city in a tank, and like, especially like when you get like, he's jumping through buildings and shit in The Dark Knight. This one, it's like, no, it's just a car with a jet engine strapped to the back of it. It's so cool.
I think one of my favorite shots from this movie is when Oz is flipped and Batman comes out of the flames and it's upside down, and it's just like, I watched that multiple times.
A lot of people don't like that shot.
Why?
I know, right? Because I think on the Kind of Funny podcast they made fun of that shot, because they're like, because like he's walking towards him, like, and just ended at the walk. Don't do it's like, no, because like, one, hanging upside down, like a bat.
Yeah.
what's really cool about this movie is that Batman is a vampire in this movie.
Oh my god,
Like,
yeah.
like he's a creepy weirdo, and when you see this fucking weird ass dude just like stick his head down, like it looks like he looks like a fucking vampire. It's and like the first time you see Batman in this movie when he walks out of the shadows and like he's just like he's super stiff and walking really slow. It's like this it's like fucking Nosferatu. Like he's and I love the like the spur sounds that his boots make. It's
yes,
so cool.
yes. I was just thinking of that, like because you hear that before you see him, and it's
You just hear tink,
yes,
tink, and he comes out and he's scared.
so
One thing we talked about last week with The Dark Knight that you had a question about, I think this movie does way better, which is like you were like, do the police like Batman, or why do they care about? In this movie, it's like, the cops don't like Batman,
no,
and
my god,
and they have good reason not to. He's a fucking weirdo.
he is. Oh my, yeah.
I love how. Yeah, I love how when they're on a crime scene with Batman, all the cops are like so uncomfortable that there's this fucking weirdo just walking around the crime scene
in a bat suit, like that's like just this giant. I did like the one scene where like I can't even think of what it was, but like he picked something up and someone was like, "You should touch it," and Gordon's like, "He's got gloves on." Like
no, yeah, he's like, "What the fuck happened to chain of evidence?"
Yeah.
He's like, he's got gloves on, man. He's like, look, if we don't let him pick it up, he's going to kick all of our asses. So,
yep.
The bat suit works a lot better in this movie, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I like this one.
Like we talked about it in with The Dark Knight, where he's standing in that bank vault, and it's just like he looks so out of place and stupid. And in this one, it's like, no, that's just like a weirdo who like dressed himself up in some homemade armor and shit.
Oh my god, yeah, it's I do like this bat suit a lot.
This bat suit has so many like cool parts because it it looks like it's been like pieced together like over the last 2 years, like because it starts off with like he's got like big old motorcycle boots,
right?
Which is like, yeah, okay, that's probably like the first thing that he had, and then like the bat symbol being a big old knife, that's fucking sick.
So cool.
I like it's one of the coolest like movie designs Batman's ever had, especially with like the cape and the cowl, because like we talked about it again. I'm gonna say this a lot. We talked about it last week. Where Batman, they always had trouble getting Batman to be able to turn his head.
Right. Yeah.
And the way that they come up with the solution in this one, really, really cool. Where it's like the mask only goes up to about his jawline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, up to like his the bridge of his nose, and then he's got like a big like collar that goes around the rest of him. It looks really, really cool. I like the leather design of the mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked every single time he just pulled some random thing out of his suit, because I'm like, where'd that come from? Like, you had like the stick thing at one point, and I was like, where's he keeping that at? It was just so fun.
Yeah, there's like pouches like all over him and stuff. Like he's there, like you can tell this guy has had many nights where he was like, oh shit, man, it would have been really good to have some like adrenaline or something. I just got my ass kicked. I need to figure out how to put some adrenaline on the suit.
I know. Oh my god. It's like cargo pants, but Batman.
Yeah. I like the big like glove, like gauntlet things that he's got that like he it looks like he's got like a taser built into them, which is fucking hilarious. In the beginning of the movie, where that guy shoots him, and he just gets like, he just looks so angry that somebody shot him, and then he just like tases the shit out of him.
It's amazing.
Pattinson does a lot of like acting with his mouth and eyes, and it's really he's really good at acting.
He is. He's very good. I do have a bit of a gripe, though.
Okay. What do you got?
The bottom half of his face stays pristine throughout the whole, like, I don't remember seeing like anything bad happen down here when it's completely open. Like, it's so vulnerable. You could have just like mess his mouth up. I know, it's
so this is one thing from the comics that I kind of wish they would have done. I get why it is in this movie, and it's why it's in every Batman movie, which is there's not a lot of color on the bat suit.
right.
In the Batman comics, it wasn't like, it's not the original thing, but it's something that's been added on in the future, where there's one comic where somebody shoots him in the chest, and he talks that that's the most reinforced part of his armor, is that symbol on his chest. He's like, yeah, that's why I painted it yellow. It's a big bright spot that says shoot me.
Amazing. Oh shoot, there was oh man, I just had something more about the suit, but oh no, never mind, it wasn't about the suit. It reminded me of Robin. Completely forgot the Robin is the side. Will we get a Robin?
Probably, I don't think so. I don't think that in this setting there's a way to. I've heard some people have made some arguments about it. I don't agree with any of them. I don't think doing a Robin in this setting makes sense in a way that the character can still be like likable, because this Gotham is like so fucked up, and Batman is pretty young. So like people have talked about like, oh, the mayor's son, like he keeps showing up in this movie, like maybe he's gonna be Robin. It's like, I don't want to see a movie where a guy trains a kid to fight serial killers. That seems pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like if they did like a more cartoony version of Batman, yeah, get me some Robin in there. I like it.
Right.
If this was more like a Marvel movie, fuck yeah, give me a Robin. But in this particular setting, no, like don't do a Robin. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, because I was reading it, and then Robin came up, and I was like, hold on, we didn't have a Robin here. And was there one in Dark Knight in Batman Begins? Was there a Robin?
Sort of. Not in Batman Begins. In Dark Knight Rises, there's
Dark Knight
sort
Rises.
of a Robin, yeah.
Interesting. Is there a Robin in the other one, the Ben Affleck ones?
There was. He's died before those movies start.
Oh.
Because in those movies, he's like old Batman. Like he's been Batmaning for like a couple decades.
Batmaning.
Yeah.
That's a good verb. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna go back to the suit real quick because I wanted to get Robin in before my brain forgot it. We got the makeup bit we talked about last week.
Yeah.
We did the makeup. Look how pretty. He's good at that. Like, that shit is dark on his eyes. Like, there is.
Yeah, that's like some serious eye black. Like, he's not just like going out and buying mascara. That's like greased.
I love the thought of like he's got all of like the suit bits and all these fancy gadgets, and he's like he need that eye black, like the crayon or whatever eye black is.
The eye black is really good. A thematic element of the movie too. One thing I really love about this movie is that like there isn't a Bruce Wayne in this movie. He's just Batman. Like I think I talked about it on the Bat Boys podcast. Like he hasn't figured out how to be Bruce Wayne yet. He's so stuck in being Batman. And so when the eye black is there as like, he never takes the mask off. Like even when he's sitting in the Batcave just by himself, he still has the eye black. He still has some kind of mask. And when like you see him up in his house and he's always wearing sunglasses because he's never out in the daytime. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it was. I liked like him, like particularly with like Alfred in the hospital, and he holds his hand and everything. It's like, oh. He has a heart. Although he did say "you're not my father" at him towards the beginning, and that sort of hurt my heart. But you know, the Alfred bit when he gets blown up, that threw me in for a loop. When she's like, "It already happened, dog." I was like, oh,
yeah,
I liked that. I liked the timing with that a lot. So, like, does the Riddler... Okay. Towards the end of this movie, I was starting to get really sleepy because it was going on 1 a.m. So, like,
Long movie.
Yeah, my brain didn't really compute everything at the end. The Riddler, does he know that he's Bruce Wayne? Because, like, he kept saying Bruce Wayne's name a lot when they were, like, Batman and him were talking into prison.
This is not a problem unique to you. This
you.
Was like the prevailing discussion about this movie after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty clear that he doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is.
Okay.
There's pretty much all the evidence people use to say that he knows who Bruce Wayne is. The movie pretty much says that that's actually evidence that he doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is. People have a hard time watching movies. I have a hard time watching movies too sometimes. It's hard to piece things together because you get caught up in your own thoughts when you're watching a thing. So when they're in his apartment and he looks at the board and he sees the thing, and it's the picture of Bruce Wayne, and then there's a picture of Batman, and it says, I know the real you, is what he has written on the wall. So the movie wants you to the movie puts that idea in your head, because when Batman goes to visit him in Arkham Asylum, the setup of that scene is that Batman is worried that he knows who he is.
Right.
And then he keeps talking about Bruce Wayne. The reason he's doing that is because Bruce Wayne is the reason that he's doing all this, right? To be like, he was an orphan, Bruce Wayne was an orphan. But seeing the way that Bruce Wayne got to be an orphan versus the way he got to be an orphan, that's sort of the thing that like radicalized him. And he's talking about how Bruce Wayne was the only one we didn't get to. Like we tried to kill Bruce Wayne, but we didn't get to kill Bruce Wayne. And then he says, the entire point of the Joker, right, is that he thinks that he is working with Batman. He thinks that they have the same goals and that they're working together. So if he knew that Bruce Wayne was Batman, why would he try to kill Bruce Wayne? That doesn't make any fucking sense, right?
Yeah.
Right? Why would he tell Batman, like, oh man, we almost killed Bruce Wayne. That sucks, Bruce Wayne. Right? It's pretty clear he doesn't know who he is. And then there's with the I know the real you on the wall with Batman. He says to Batman, everybody keeps talking about taking off your mask, but I know the truth. I know the real you. This is the real you. Batman is the real you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's saying there with all that stuff. So at least up until now, he doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is. At the end of this movie, has he put it together? I don't know. They don't really do anything with it. Maybe now the Riddler knows. But during the film, no, he does not know that Bruce is Batman.
Okay. So who do you think? Now I know they've said who they want to be the villains, an idea of who they want to be the villains in the other things that'll come out. They're still gonna, like, Riddler's still gonna have a bit, right, too, and like the Joker, because he's there at the end. Like, are they gonna show up in the subsequent movies, or?
I assume they probably will at some point. Mm-hmm. But who knows? I've said I think it would be a really cool thing to do if they just, like, throughout the next couple of movies, the Joker is always just kind of around, but not like the main villain. Mm-hmm. And then, like, I think it would be cool if, like, you do the trilogy and then you do another movie that is like all the villains gang up to, like, and Batman's got to fight like 10 people, and which is like a lot of this movie and a lot of the Dark Knight too is based on this comic called The Long Halloween, which it like moves through, like, he fights a bunch of villains in that, or like the original Bane story, Nightfall. Bane's plan to beat Batman is he, like, releases all the villains in Arkham Asylum, and Batman has to go fight all the villains, and then he gets like super fucked up and tired, and then Bane like kicks the shit out of him. So it'd be cool to do something like that, of just like, yeah, you got to run through, you got to fight the Joker, you got to fight the Riddler, you got to fight the like everybody all in one movie. Maybe that's something they could do in the future. I don't know.
Interesting. Oh, that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool if they kept Joker, like he wasn't like a main villain like he was in Dark Knight. He's just sort of hanging out.
Yeah,
doing
I agree. I think that'd be
like,
pretty
in
sweet.
the background. Like it was still cool to like see him there and everything, and like the actor who plays him, I think is maybe it was 1 a.m., but I thought it was terrifying.
There's a deleted scene of Bruce visiting the Joker in Arkham.
Okay.
It's worth checking out. It's very and clearly intended that it was never supposed to be in the movie. Like it doesn't really even make sense. Like they just wanted to shoot a thing with the Joker in it, and it's cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw that they did like for promotional stuff. They did with the website. You could like figure out riddles and get like promotional material. And like I think one of them was the deleted scene.
Yeah, that was like you would answer riddles on the website, you get production stills, and eventually all that led up to them releasing that scene online. It was fun.
Yeah, I went to go do it, and then it shut down.
Yeah,
it said it was like seized by the Gotham police or whatever. Like, come on, let's have fun. Okay, can I talk about the Riddler now?
Yeah. Riddler time. Nobody. Okay. I mean, so as at least as the recording of this podcast, nobody has commented Joker time on the last video. So
bullshit.
We know you guys aren't paying attention to this fucking show.
God damn it.
And if I don't see Riddler time comments on this one, I'm gonna be pissed.
So mad. Riddler time. Okay, so I usually, and I think I said this about Fantastic Beasts, about Percival Graves, how I don't usually like obviously like I like portrayals of the villains, but like I'm always I'm a big scaredy cat, and it scare me a lot. I fucking loved the Riddler though. Like
really?
Yes. I think it's because I like puzzles, which is awful because he does it because he kills people and everything. It's like leads them to
makes sense, yeah.
But I thought, I don't know, I just really like
he's a really good villain. I like him. Not to keep comparing this movie to The Dark Knight, but it's sort of like it's a movie in a really long run series. It's kind of what you end up doing is comparing it to the best one. Every Star Wars movie gets compared to Empire. So the Riddler is actually a character with like motivations and a personality, and he's got a thing going on. Love Heath Ledger's Joker.
Right.
That it's not a character. Like you never know what he wants. You never know why he's doing what he's doing. Nolan, when he was making that movie, he compared the Riddler, the Joker, to the shark from Jaws. Like he just wanted it to be like a force that shows up, fucks everything up, and then leaves. Which is really cool, and it really works in that movie. This one, the Riddler is like, he's mysterious and he's neat and he scares the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, no, he's terrifying.
Yeah.
That was
Paul Dano's one of my favorite actors. Like working right now. I love Paul Dano.
I've seen him in Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, love that movie. He's really good in it.
My Paul Dano.
He's good in everything that he's in. Paul Dano's great.
Yeah, he scared the shit out of me last night. Probably shouldn't have watched it when it was dark out. But you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. I did think it was okay. Before I say, is there a reason that he wears the glasses over top of the hood?
I mean, I'd assume that is I think it's prevent fog.
I don't know, but
It's probably pretty hard to wear glasses under that hood.
That's true. Okay, I guess there's no better way to wear glasses with a hood. I just thought it was he specifically he specifically made sure to put the glasses over the hood. I don't know. I liked that. He was cool. I just really liked him.
Yeah, I really like what they did with the Riddler in this one. It I say appeals when it's really sort of the opposite, but appeals to me in ways that it's very sort of pointed at things that I am like afraid about right now. He has a lot of elements derived from like the sort of notorious American domestic terrorists, right? Like, so there's obviously a whole bunch of Zodiac influences.
Right. Yeah.
I think that there's some Ted Kaczynski stuff in there as well. Timothy McVeigh with the van bombs, and Lee Harvey Oswald with the shooting out of a window, and obviously it's fucking a weird thing to do in a superhero movie, but it's like it works so well that the big plan the villain has is a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking scary as shit.
Yeah, terrifying. Yeah, that's not the part that I find cool about it. The best. Let me tell you, that's not the part. I like the riddles. I just like, I think it's like very similar to what I liked about the Joker from Dark Knight, is where it's like there's different. This obviously is more like riddles, and it leads to other things, and like how you get to that answer is, I think, very clever. Like, you have to like.
I think all the riddles are like super funny, super cool.
Yeah.
Like the thumb drive one, fucking awesome,
brilliant,
so good, so
brilliant. Good. Use this. It's like, oh, this is fucked up.
Yes,
so good.
And like I a lot of people have complained about the URL one. I think it works. I think it's, you definitely don't get it the first time. I think when you watch it back, it makes, like, when they first get the thing, Alfred goes, yeah, his Spanish isn't very good. That's weird.
Yes.
But like, here it is. Yeah. And like, I do like that, like, they spend like a good chunk of the movie being like, they think they know what the riddle is and they totally don't have it at all. And then the carpet tucker thing is so clever, because you see it at the beginning of the movie. And like, when he throws it across the thing, I remember like in the theater just being like, what the fuck is that thing? That's so weird.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
totally forgot about that. Stopped thinking about it, and then it showed up at the end, and like, yeah, and it, like, you take it up, and the My Confession thing, so smart, so good, so clever, so good. Love it,
so good. It's just, I like the cards, and like in the first cipher in the beginning, how like it's the used ones are the ones that spell out the message, like not what Alfred was. Although I do wish Alfred was working his ass off trying to figure that out. Good for him. Shout out to Alfred. But yeah, no, I thought that was cool.
With the Alfred, him trying to solve the cipher, I like how much information they get out of a single line of him just like mentioning that he was in MI6.
Yeah.
I realized, like, I talked to like a lot of people after the movie who didn't understand that that's what he was saying when he said, "Oh, just reminiscing about my time in the circus." And that's, people like ask me like, "What does being in the circus have to do with solving puzzles?" Like, I was like, no, that's what they like, their Pentagon. It's what they call this. It's called the circus. He wasn't like a carny,
right? Can you imagine though that like that's how Alfred is? He's just amazing. He was in the circus. He did things.
Yeah,
Trapeze.
he does circus. Yeah, that's why Batman was able to do all that acrobats. It's because he was in the circus.
Alfred had a big influence on him. Okay, so so when all of Riddler's followers are like on top and they're all dressed in the same outfit, how'd they all match? Like, how did they just like all be like, this is like where you get
it's all from an army surplus store. The mask is a like a heavy winter protective mask that you get in an army surplus, so they're all wearing army surplus coats and boots. Yeah.
What is the purpose of the saran wrap on the back?
So you don't leave any hair or sweat at the like any kind of DNA evidence at the scene.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I just, and they all had the same glasses. Where'd they get the glasses from? Where'd they all get the same glasses from?
I don't know. Amazon, I guess.
Do you think Riddler had a Warby Parker code? Like that's how they all got it.
Use code Riddler at checkout for 10% off.
I do like that bit where he's just a streamer. I mean, he's a terrorist streamer, but he's just a streamer. He's just streaming things.
There's again the way that this movie like touches on things that are like my personal fears about the world right now is people were streaming the January 6th insurrection, and I've watched some of those streams investigatively over the last year or so, and I gotta tell you, feels very similar.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot about the things that they do with the Riddler that are like, maybe we should be talking about this more. Like maybe this movie's made some very interesting observations.
It's hit very close to home. It's yeah, I didn't make the connection until now. See, what I saw on Twitter after this movie came out was people pretending to be Riddler and playing like Minecraft. That's what I saw.
Yeah, there's a lot of the I did enjoy all the TikToks of the Riddler. Yeah.
That was great.
I almost did it again today. I almost wore my Riddler costume.
That's right. I just remembered that you have the suit.
But yeah,
Did you go see the movie in the suit?
I thought about it. I came very close to, and when we got out of the movie, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't wear the Riddler costume.
That's very good. Just a little bit different than what Mr. Dano wears.
Yeah, it's a different costume, but I'm considering all the people in the movie who dress up like the Riddler, I'm glad I didn't dress up like the Riddler.
That I do like how different it is from like the Riddler costume, like the classic like Riddler suit.
Yeah,
with question marks.
It's a very, very different take on the suit,
yeah.
And I think it works really, really well.
Yeah, I think it works really well as well. Why? Okay. Maybe I'm just being dumb, but why does he let himself get arrested?
Because it's one, to get him and Batman in Arkham where they're supposed to be safe from the flood. Two, I also just think he knows that there's no way to not get arrested.
Right,
because his plan, like his part of the plan, is just to shoot a guy from his house. So you're gonna get caught eventually, right? But yeah, I think the plan is that like he's gonna be in Arkham with Batman when the bombs go off, and then he thinks Batman will probably just get him out.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did see when I was looking for fun facts, I did see a thing where it was like all of the pictures are taken from the same angle from his apartment there at the outside the I don't remember. Iceberg lettuce.
The Iceberg Lounge.
Iceberg Lounge.
The Iceberg lettuce.
I couldn't remember if like they were all taken from that same angle. And like he thought that Batman knew who he was because they were all taken from. Are they all taken from the same angle? I don't remember what all of the pictures look
they are
like.
taken from the same window that he shoots.
That's
yeah.
There is also a thing where it's like you could see him like when it's like the wide shot of the lounge, like you can see his apartment and him in the window peeking out. And I did go back and look at it, and he was nice. There. Well, at least there was a silhouette of a person. I'm assuming it's him. But yeah, it's. I don't remember where I was going with it, but that's just Riddler.
It's neat. Yeah, Riddler.
Yeah. Riddler.
Great
Riddler
villain.
time.
Great villain. Really good.
I just looked across the window from mine. There's just a dude eating some almonds in the bathroom.
Okay. Good for that guy.
I just wasn't expecting it. If he's still going. I gotta I don't know what I'm gonna say.
I don't know what that guy's doing right now.
I don't know.
You know, I'm not gonna judge.
Now you should come on HBO Max. I'll yellow crow. Oh shit.
Yeah.
My window is open, I've just realized.
Oh, you don't remember what happened last time?
I know. I thought it's not dark out yet, but it's getting there. No bugs yet. Knock on wood. Let me see. Oh my god! I can't believe I didn't bring this up yet. The dude who plays... Okay, first off, is it Falcone or Falcone? Because I could have sworn I heard it pronounced both times.
Yeah, so they kind of do it both ways because they're really working in the whole things that fly motif in this movie, right? With the Penguin, the Falcon. In the comics and stuff, it's Falcone.
Okay. He's played by the dude who plays Adrian Monk's brother in the hit television show Monk. And the whole time, I could only imagine him as Ambrose Monk.
John Turturro's in Monk?
Yeah, he's in like 3 episodes. He plays Monk's brother.
Huh.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's all. I was like, he looks familiar. Oh, because he's in my second favorite actor's hit television show Monk.
Well, he's in so much stuff. Like he's he's a great actor.
Yeah, I've heard he's wonderful. I mean, I've seen he's wonderful. Just from the 2 drastically different roles that I've seen him in, wonderful.
Everybody there's not a bad performance in this movie. Everybody's just crushing it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can you explain? Okay. Like, there's gonna be a chunk that my brain does not understand. Okay. The bit where it's like from the voicemail and then Zoe Kravitz goes and like she talks to Ambrose Monk and like he explains some stuff which pisses her off even more, I think. Wait, I don't know. I might be getting him that bit. Do you know what I'm talking about? I may have mixed that. I may have messed that bit up. The voicemail to like where she tries to shoot him, I suppose. What's like going on there?
Okay.
Yeah, like what's the background?
So she talks about how she's Falcone's daughter, right? Mm-hmm. She talks about her mom died, she got murdered, somebody strangled her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know who killed him. Her, right? She says it's just somebody at the club probably strangled her to death. Mm-hmm. She gets the voicemail of Falcone strangling her girlfriend.
Okay.
Put 2 and 2 together. Guy strangles people to death.
Oh.
Falcone killed her mom.
Oh.
So she goes there under the guise of being like, hey, I'm your daughter, but with plans because now this guy has killed her mom and her girlfriend. She's going to.
Right.
Yeah.
So then. Okay. Okay, so there's. Okay, that bit. And then Batman finds out something about Falcone with his. He was connected with his dad. So what's that bit?
Okay, so Batman's dad was running for mayor.
Right.
A journalist did some digging and found out that like Martha was like went to in and out of like an insane asylum, and her mom went crazy and murdered her dad, and they covered it up and all that stuff. So that guy was going to publish that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Wayne went to Falcone to be like, hey, go like put the screws into this guy so that we can, so that he doesn't publish this piece and I can be mayor and all that. And then Falcone killed that guy.
Right.
So that, you know, he basically had like leverage over Thomas Wayne indefinitely. Right. And then, so the old mob boss Maroni was the one who had like hired the journalist. That's what Falcone tells him, was that the journalist was like, actually, he was a piece of shit too. He was working for the mob. And so, yeah, that's kind of the whole deal there. Because Batman is basically going to him to be like, hey, is this true? Like, did my dad hire you to go get this guy? And he's like, yeah, but like your dad, like, you know, he only did it because, you know, Maroni was actually like fucking with him and stuff like that. But like, we were like the good guys. And then that Maroni had his dad killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything's coming together. Interesting. Yeah, because like a lot happened in like that bit. And my head could not keep everything straight. But okay.
It's a long movie. It was late. It happens. Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. Cool. Great. Glad everything is figured out there. Okay. The bat symbol.
Yeah.
The light.
Okay.
How does that work? Because, like, how... Okay, I get it. Okay, they got the outline or whatever.
Yeah.
But how does it still look so crisp in the sky that you could still tell what it is?
Yeah, I'm not sure how like possible that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really strong light, I guess.
Yeah, but like it looks good. It looks so good still.
Yeah, it does.
Also, okay, I've got a few questions.
Oh, okay. Let's run through them.
I got two more.
All about the bat symbol?
Yeah. About the light. How can Batman always see it? Like, the skyscrapers are different heights, but yet every time he freaking looks up into the sky, there it is. Every time anyone looks up into the sky, they can always see it. But like, if I have learned anything from living in both London and Philadelphia, geography, everything are different heights. You can't always see the same point. Like, I can't always see not that I'm always looking into the sun, but I don't always see the sun. If I'm standing in point A, then I can see the same point as point B. I don't get the bat symbol. How?
I guess I've never really thought about it. I mean, like I've never lived in a city, so I don't have a lot of experience with that. Like we have fires out here all the time, right? And no matter where you are in town, you know where there's a fire.
You know where the fire is.
You know what direction that fire is. So I don't have a lot of experience with this. I don't know. I don't know.
And what does it even mean? Okay, what does the bat symbol mean? Like, does it go up every night? Does it only go up when crime is particularly bad? Does it go up when the police needs to talk to the Batman. Like, that's what happens in Dark Knight at one point, where, like, they shine the light and they're both like, we thought you put it up to talk to us. And Batman's like, no, I thought you put it up to talk to me. Like, what's it mean?
Well, in that one, it was Harvey who had turned it on so that he could get both of them there. Remember?
Right.
But yeah, so usually it's like when Gordon needs to talk to Batman, he puts up the bat signal. When he's like, yo, something going on, like a big thing, like, because Batman's going out every night, right?
Okay, right.
So he's going around, he's fighting the riffraff no matter what. But when the police have something like, hey, the mayor just got murdered, get the fucking bat signal up.
And then, okay, interesting. Huh. Okay, the bat symbol makes a bit more sense now. Still don't understand it, but makes sense.
But also, like, Batman I mean, I guess, like, geography wise, like, Batman knows where it's gonna be, like, in the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably like checking in on it, like
checking.
It's like, you know, once an hour or so you check the bay to go see if there's a bat symbol there.
I like to think he is an alarm to, like, when he has to go check. It's like once an hour, just go and check. Yeah, it's
like maybe Andy Serkis can, like, call him up and be like, "Hey, the bat signal's up."
Right. Well, okay, listen. If
Okay.
I freaking learned anything from this movie, the telephones, no one picks up their damn phone in this movie because it takes forever for her name.
I don't know her name either.
Yeah, she takes forever. Great. Okay, there was an explosion, and then freaking Batman. They take forever answering Riddler's call. Like, does nobody pick up the damn phone? And then apparently she says she's okay. I'm going back to the Alfred thing. The woman says she's been trying to contact Batman, but, like, what's going on? I also don't remember my point. What were we talking about? Oh, Alfred contacting Batman about that simple. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why Alfred just
so
kept going.
In one of the more recent versions of Batman in the comics, Batman Earth 2, right? Earth 2 or Earth 1? I think it's Earth 2.
Okay.
I mean,
we gotta look it up.
Is it Earth 1 or is it Earth 2? I get it. It's Earth 1. Okay. Earth 1. The Jeff Johns Batman Earth 1 series. The bat signal is a burner phone.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of this movie, there's a lot of stuff in this movie that comes from Batman Earth 1. Like it's like, it's supposed to be like a super grounded version of Batman, and like Alfred is kind of based on that version of Alfred, who, like, he was like a guy who worked at MI6 who became friends with Thomas Wayne. And then when Thomas started running for mayor, which isn't something that happens in most versions of Batman, normally he's just like a doctor. And he's a doctor who just, like, runs a big old company. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's got a lot of.
Yeah. He's got a lot of. He's got his fingers on a lot of pies. Okay. But so in that one, when Thomas Wayne starts running for mayor, he gets his friend Alfred, who was a former spy, to, like, be his head of security or whatever. And then he gets assassinated by, I think, the Penguin in that one. Yeah.
Penguin. Why is he called the Penguin?
Because he kind of, like, waddles when he moves. He's got the big old beak, you know? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hangs out at the Iceberg Lounge, you know. Penguin themed stuff. You didn't get that?
No, I thought it was lettuce half the movie. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's amazing. So, like, what is the Penguin's... I completely wasn't paying attention when they were introducing the Penguin character. Is he just, like, in the crime family? Like, does he run that Iceberg Lounge? Is, like, that his... So, like,
yeah.
Okay.
So you can think of him, he's like season 1's Tony Soprano.
Got it. Okay.
Where he's not like the main guy, but he's he's like
he's high enough up.
Yeah.
That he's like interesting. Huh. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So okay. Yeah. All right. I'm picking up. So who would be considered like the godfather of who's the head of Falcone is tippy top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then so they are all of these clubs, like they mention a few clubs like 44 Below or whatever, and like the Iceberg Lounge. Are those all connected then to that crime family?
So it's all in one building. The Iceberg Lounge is like a club, and at the penthouse of that club, that's where Falcone lives. He lives in the penthouse of that club.
Okay.
The basement of that is like a secret club called 44 Below.
Is that the one where like all the government people are?
Yeah, where everybody, and there's like a fucking cop. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, what is the significant? Okay, wait, why is the Riddler killing everyone? Was it because they were like? I know they were all connected to that case, but like, why does the Riddler care?
Because the way that they were, Falcone is essentially running the entire city as the mob by using the renewal program, which was something Thomas Wayne had set up. He set up this big, like he took like $1 billion and set it in this trust fund for the city to essentially like, we never get like an exact idea of what it is, but it's supposed to be like some kind of like universal basic income sort of thing. And then like it was supposed to fund like the orphanage where the Riddler grew up, which is the old Wayne Manor and stuff. And so the government has, instead of taking renewal and using it to like fund social programs in the city, they're using it as a slush fund to move money around for themselves and take out giant cuts of it. Also, I still can't figure out if this is the case or not. The movie does not give a strong answer, but the journalist that Falcone killed that was investigating Thomas Wayne might be the Riddler's dad.
Oh shit.
I don't think that he is, but the movie makes some implications of it. It doesn't pin down whether or not that's the answer. Maybe it's been like more defined afterwards, like maybe the director has said as such, but it's sort of implied. But yeah, like basically everybody at the bottom of the city is getting completely like Gotham is a nightmare to live in, right? You see like in all the people, all the drugs and all the stuff that's affecting the lower people. So he wants to, the Riddler is operating under like the idea that his goal is to like wipe the city clean and stuff, right? But that's mostly like a front. Like in the end, his goal is just a mass shooting. Like I mean, it works the way like a lot of these, mass shooters work. Like they leave a manifesto. They have a supposed political ideology that they're operating under and stuff. And like the Riddler has some points, like he's figured out a whole thing. He's going to upend the city and stuff. But his plan is like, it's not enough just to like get all these criminals out. Like we're going to cause a mass act of violence. Like he's going to like completely destroy the city.
Damn. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, that'd be really interesting to see if that journalist is the dad or not.
He doesn't have his last name. And there's which like even if like he was an orphan living in foster care, like movie never says he got adopted or anything, so you'd keep that last name, I would assume. And like, I mean, he might have changed his name. I don't know. The movie never says either way, and the timeline is very confusing in a way that I don't think that he is. But who knows?
Who knows? Matt Reeves, Come on the show and tell us.
Yeah, Matt Reeves, come on the show. We'll watch the fucking monkey movies if you want. He made the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I thought you don't want to know what movie I was thinking about. Never mind. It was I didn't realize he made the movie. He likes Andy Serkis, huh? Does he work with Andy Serkis a lot?
Yeah, I guess he does.
Yeah, Andy Serkis. Come on the show.
So I just went to look up like is Riddler that guy's son. The autofills for is Riddler, pretty funny. Is Riddler Hush, which is from one of the movies, and kind of this movie too, because that journalist who the journalist who gets killed is a character from the comics who is the villain's Hush's dad. Is Riddler the Joker? Probably not, guy.
Watch the last scene.
Is Riddler smarter than Batman? Maybe, I don't know. Is Riddler an orphan? Buddy, did you watch the movie?
Watch the movie.
And then just is Riddler an incel? Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, things are tracking. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is, you know what? Good movie. This is a good movie.
Really
good movie. Good movie. Do you have any final thoughts and feelings about the Batman?
I could talk about this movie. Like, this is going to be one of the longest episodes we've done, and we've honestly not really even talked about a whole bunch of stuff in the movie. I mean, this is the second long ass podcast I've done about this movie. I could talk about it forever. The music's fucking awesome.
Oh, it's so good.
They used a Nirvana song in it, which I love Nirvana.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't think I ever mentioned during The Dark Knight. They cut out the theme song in the movie on the plane for The Dark Knight. So there was like certain points where it's supposed to be extremely like epic, completely silent. I don't think I mentioned that when we did The Dark Knight.
Did you look it up like afterwards and confirm that like they took it out? Yeah. That's so weird.
It even said in the subtitle, dramatic music plays, but there was nothing playing. Like,
it might be too loud.
Oh.
One weird thing about like The Dark Knight is it's like it's a tough movie to watch like in a house of people because it's constantly going super loud, super quiet,
yeah.
super loud, super quiet. Like all the dialogue scenes are really quiet. You got to turn it up, and then the music hits, and it's so fucking loud. So like maybe they were just like on a plane. No, just get like the loud shit out of this movie. Right. But yeah, the music in this movie just the score is awesome. It'd be remiss if we didn't talk about that the scene when he's walking down the hallway and it's the only lighting is gunshots.
I loved that scene so much. I remember that I think they released that during some convention, like maybe
it was in the trailer.
Yeah, but it was the trailer. It was in
the first. It was one of the first things we saw from the movie. Was
okay. I think that's what I'm thinking of then.
And because I remember talking to I hit up Jackson Erdman the day the trailer dropped and sent him the link, and I was like, "Have you watched it yet?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Watch it right now." We watched it. We talked about it for a little bit, and I was like, "Yeah, I love the like." I was blown away by so much stuff that trailer. I watched it like 10 times in a row. It's fucking awesome. Because one, you got the it ends with him like when he first shows up and beats the shit out of that guy, like just on the ground. He's, I'm vengeance.
I'm vengeance. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the guy just like runs up to throw a punch, and he's just like watching the combat for the first time of just him like quickly dispatching the dude, throwing him on the ground, and just like brutalizing the dude. I was like, holy shit. Because like the action scenes in The Dark Knight fucking suck. I gotta be honest with you. Like Christopher Nolan is not good at like filming those sort of action scenes. He's gotten better at it. Like some of the stuff in Tenet, pretty good. The Batman ones, everything's close up and shaky, and you can't tell what's going on. This one is just like all the action in this movie, so fucking cool.
Yes.
And yeah, Batman just like walking down the hallway while people are just shooting him, and he is not phased by it at all.
So good. It's so I had it. Okay, so these are like my notes from the movies, and then I go through them and then I rewrite them.
Oh,
I did. I know
behind the scenes. See the
yeah,
process.
it's I have a lot of stupid thoughts that I cut out for the notebook. It's I don't know. Oh, I don't think I could read it. That may have been why I didn't include it. It just is lit up with gunfire. But yeah, it was.
It's such a cool idea for a scene too. I'm surprised I've never seen it in a movie before. Of just like pitch black.
Yes.
Gunshots are the lighting. It's so fucking cool.
And it's like I like that it wasn't just for like one sequence, like they did it a few times throughout the hallway, like as he makes his way through. Oh, I loved it. It was so good. It was very goodbye.
And then like the fight in the Iceberg Lounge is super cool when he shows up for the first time. And I love that he like I talk about this scene all the time because it fucking blew my mind. But he takes that baseball bat from the guy. He starts beating the guys with the baseball bat. Fucking awesome. I snuck in a joke on the Shared Screens podcast for their media club review of this, which I wasn't on, but I just sent Josh a joke to say on it, which is they call him the Batman because he throws the bat at that guy. He's the Batman. But yeah, when the fucking cop shows up with the gun, and the cop shoots him, and he just throws the fucking bat at his head. I love that so much.
It's so good. I like when I think it was a little bit later on, but like when he makes Selena go in with the contact and she's watching, or excuse me, he's watching her view, and he just goes, I broke that guy's nose. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, and then he finds out that it's a cop.
Yeah.
The final action scene is so cool when he's fighting all the Riddlers, and
yes.
Another like good use of weapon when he takes that guy's gun from him and just starts swinging it like a fucking bat. Love that. He's like the way he uses all of his gadgets in that scene, so cool. Where he's like using grappling hooks to take guys down. He's flying around with grappling hooks. He sets a bomb on the fire extinguisher and stuff. Just like really, really cool Batman shit that like we didn't get a lot of in like the Nolan trilogy, where the Nolan trilogy is mostly him just like beating dudes up or whatever.
Right.
This one, he's like, I really like a Batman who like he's moving around a lot. He's using gadgets in combat and stuff. I thought it really, really cool in this movie. I thought I had another little action thing that he did. Might have lost it.
He did a lot of action-y things.
There's a lot of action in this movie.
There is. Yeah. It's
pretty sweet.
I do like I like that he fought smarter, not harder, and just like these little thingies, the little gadgets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good movie. Go watch.
Really good. Really good.
I've
seen it like 5 times this year.
Oh my god, that's 15 hours.
Yes. Yeah, I saw it like twice. I saw it like twice in theaters.
Oh, that's right. It was in theaters.
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out to HBO Max, I think. I might have seen it another time in between then. And then I was watching it last night. I need to get the 4K Blu-ray copy of this because I was unhappy with the streaming quality in a couple bits. Because, man, this movie looked awesome in theaters. So good.
Yeah, I was just watching on my laptop on Amazon Prime because there's no HBO Max here. And it was not the best quality. So yeah, I need to watch it and better.
And the ending's awesome. Just like Batman being like, I'm not going to be vengeance anymore. I'm going to go out and save people. And then like seeing him in the daytime, just rescuing people from the flood. So cool. Really cool thing to do with the character. Batman in the daytime. Daytime Batman.
Daytime Batman. That's his soap opera. But yes. Go watch The Batman. The Batman. So where can people find you to hear more the Batman thoughts and other thoughts?
People can find me all over the social meds. The Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok at Jose Ruckus.
Very wonderful, wonderful. You can find me at PotterPants212 on Twitter. And there's a link in my bio. You can find me other places from time to time. You can follow the podcast on Twitter and other streaming services at HBO Max, HBO MAKS. I think we're everywhere on the streaming thingies and YouTube. Remember,
let's get the YouTube numbers up, okay? We need to hit 100 subscribers so that we can get the custom youtube.com/HBO Max. That's what we want.
That's what we want. That's my Christmas wish this year. You got 6 months.
You heard, make it happen.
Make it happen. Also, please comment Riddler time on this video.
If you don't comment Riddler time on this fucking video, I swear to God.
And then go back to Dark Knight and comment Joker time. You don't have... Okay, you should watch the whole thing, but at the very least comment. And like it, and subscribe. Yeah. Do the things. Yeah. Do the things. Share it. Share it with all your closest friends and family. You've been on
the internet long enough to know the things you're supposed to do to interact with a piece of content. We shouldn't have to tell you.
Exactly. We don't need to do the call to action things. Just do it. Please.
Yeah, just do it.
Thank you. But yes, that concludes Batman time. We should think of like Harry Potter movie magic time. We should think of one for Batman because there's Batman stuff. Batman time.
Yeah. Well, I'll brainstorm. We'll figure it out.
Thank you. You're better at names than I am. As evidenced by Harry Potter movie magic time. But yes, go watch Batman. Batman.